Hello and welcome back to Setting Up a Journal in OJS 3.3. In this module, I'll take you on a brief tour of what a typical OJS journal looks like from your reader's perspective. Remember, OJS is highly configurable, so you will be able to change many elements of the reader interface. And because OJS is open source software, you can make even more significant changes to how it looks if you have some coding expertise. So let's take a look at the Canadian Journal of Higher Education as an example. Here we are on the homepage of the journal. They've chosen to place their current articles on the homepage, which is a good choice. Alternatively, you could choose to have announcements or images or some welcome text on the front page instead. As you can see, there are links to register, to log in, or to choose another language if your journal is multilingual. Right now it's set to English. We could change to French. And notice how all of the menu items have changed from English to French automatically. Now the articles themselves have stayed in English because they haven't been translated by the journal. And we can see the indicator here that the PDFs are still in English. If this journal had translated the articles into both English and French, the French versions would pop up at this point. Let's set it back to English. There are some top-level menu items here. There's About, which is very important, and if we click on that, we can see About the Journal, Editorial Team, Privacy Statement, and Contact. Those will all be important, and I'll show you how you'll be able to set those up. There's a link that will always take you to the current articles, a link to the back issues, which we can see listed here. They've created a call for papers page, which is available here. They've added some information for authors, which includes the submission preparation checklist, and we'll see that as we work through this course. They've added some announcements, and of course the ability to search as well. Click on their logo and that takes me back to the homepage. And we can see some articles here with the titles, the authors, page numbers, and a link to the PDF. If we scroll down a little bit, we'll see all of the articles that are in this issue, as well as some footer information. They've included another language switcher here, the mailing address of the journal, and there's an image here that the platform and workflow are by OJS and PKP. Let's go back up and take a look at one of the articles. I'll click on that title. And we can see with the title here and a link to that PDF. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Down below, we can see the author. We can also see their ORCID ID. If we click on that, it takes us right to the ORCID webpage, and we can see other works by this author. We'll talk more about ORCID later on in the course and its importance for providing real clarity on the legitimacy of your journal. The more information gives us the affiliation of the author. We can see the DOI, the Digital Object Identifier, that's linked here. We'll talk more about DOIs in the course. It was published back in December, and we can see the keywords that have been added. And there's also a link to the copyright notice. And we'll talk about that in the course as well. The abstract, of course, scrolling down. They've enabled some metrics as well, so we can see a bit of the usage of this article over the past couple of months. Had some initial activity when it was published. Looks like it quietened down for the holidays and has since picked up again, and we've seen 23 views, 10 views, 8 views, and so on. That's daily. We could also change it to monthly, and we could see that in December they had 28 views, and in January 60 views. It's a nice way to be able to see what kind of activity is happening with the article. If we click on the PDF link, there's a big link to the download button if the reader wanted to do that. but we can see the PDF here as expected with title, author, affiliation, abstract, and all of that information. Importantly, they've added the journal name and the volume, issue, and year. Imagine that somebody has downloaded this article and then maybe they forgot which journal they got it from. This would let them know, right, it was with the Canadian Journal of Higher Education. So when formatting your PDFs, it's always important to put in the journal title and volume and issue information. One thing that I would recommend that it would be added to this is maybe down at the end, having some kind of licensing and copyright information. Again, because the PDFs can get separated from the website of the journal, it would allow somebody to instantly know what they can or can't do with this PDF. So a Creative Commons license, for example, would be good to place on every PDF. So nearly everything we've seen on this website today is customizable, including the design through the use of themes, and I'll walk you through the process in all of the subsequent modules of this course. So this concludes our introductory tour of what readers encounter when navigating around an OJS journal website. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.